All right. Welcome, everyone. This is the another day of Be Agile Scrum track. Mostly, this is lesson number 2, and we are getting into details gradually, and we are exploring. We have started our track with Agile Scrum, and I'm going to reveal today in the lesson 2 that what all are there. But before that, let me remind you of for what purpose we are here, and before we remind each other the purpose and how to protect that purpose, let me once again welcome you all and appreciate your time, because this is Tuesday night, working day, and you have taken your time out. That shows the level of commitment. And with this commitment, I commit myself to give my 100% to you, so that when you go back from here, you will go back with more clarity. Me and Prerna are going to be your trainer. But before we begin, we had in last session our intro, and few of you were not there, I think. So let's quickly talk once again about your name, your current position if you're working somewhere, and your core intent to join this session, this track. Core intent means why you want to become business analyst or scrum master. So may I have any volunteer who wants to go first? Or okay, I see Krunal has just unmuted herself. Krunal, welcome, good evening. Quickly just talk about yourself. Who are you, what do you do, and your core intent behind this track joining.
Hi, my name is Krunal Kulkarni. I am assistant teacher, and my core intent of joining this course is to be independent and learn more new things.
And why do you want to learn more things?
Uh, because I was in computers and I want to be and learn the new techniques.
And what will happen after learning that new techniques?
I will be independent and I'll earn money.
Okay, earn money, you will be independent. And of course, how will you earn? Are you today earning as well or not yet?
Yeah, I'm an assistant teacher.
Okay, so then why this specific track?
I was an SAP consultant before.
Okay, and then what now? Like,
Now, like then I was a housewife, and I want to be back on my track now. And
okay, you want to be back in your track in IT, and that's why
yes,
you are into this
yes.
track. Thank you so much, Krunal, for sharing this. Krunal, call out someone's name on the screen if you can see.
Uh, Apata Mishra,
Upper,
Arpita Mishra.
okay, Apamita, welcome once again. I know that few part you will be repeating, but why don't you quickly introduce and talk about yourself? Apamita, over to you.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Aparmita Mishra. I was an assistant professor back in India, and after moving to the US, I have been doing freelance technical writing and instructional designing. I have come here for this track specifically because I think I had basically come for Scrum and Agile to learn what is Scrum and Agile. But now BA has become like I've started liking BA track a lot. So I have come here with the core intent of getting placed and earning well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Apamita, thank you so much for sharing the clarity. Call out someone's name on the screen, you see, please.
Mm, Pratibha?
Pratibha, welcome
Yeah,
once again. Yeah, please quickly
yeah.
talk about yourself.
Thank you. Hello, Gaurav. Hello, everyone. So I'm Pratibha. I did my physiotherapy in India, then got married, came USA. I have been homemaker since many years. Now I want to do work and earn money and want to be independent.
Super awesome, Pratibha. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing the clarity. Please call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Yes, it's Savan.
Savan, please unmute yourself and talk about yourself, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sawan Patel. I am currently working as a stockroom clerk, and I am taking this course to change career tracks and get a job.
To get a job by changing the career track. Thank you so much, Savan, for sharing the clarity. Please call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Sunali.
Sonali, please unmute yourself and talk about yourself, Sonali, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Sonali Pandey. I am having 2 years of experience in HR, and my last job is 2020. I just got my EAD application, so I just want to restart my career in IT, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome, Sonali. Thank you so much for your sharing and the clarity you have brought, that you once again you want to get placed, and that's the reason you are here, I believe. And
Yes.
Sonali, call out someone's name on the screen. You see,
Yeah. Amin Jivani.
Amin. Welcome, Amin. Kindly introduce yourself, please.
All right, guys. I'm a GM of a hotel. I have a master's in MIS. I'm trying to change my career tracks and go back into the IT industry. That's all it is.
Okay, you want to get placed into IT, and that's the reason you are here. Thank you so much, Amin, for sharing the clarity. Amin, call out someone's name on the screen. You see.
Prerna Karlekar.
Okay, so Prerna is our co-trainer. So apart from Prerna, if you are paying attention, you know that who are missed, you can call out those names.
Suchna?
Yes, Sushna. Yes, welcome, Sushna. Once again, because you are repeating, you can take out, unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Sushna, yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Suchana. I'm from batch 6. I'm repeating this class. I did master degree in law back in India, and I'm currently working as a substitute teacher. And because I'm here, my intent is to be placed. So I'm
Awesome,
repeating this.
Sushna. Thank you so much for sharing the clarity. Sushna, call out one name that you see on the screen.
Pratibha Kumar.
Pratibha is done.
Okay, Aparna.
Yes. So thank you so much, Sushna. Aparna, kindly unmute and please talk about yourself, Aparna.
Hi, everybody. I'm Aparna. I did my biomedical engineering long back, and I was working as HR in India. Past 10 years, I haven't worked. So I'm trying to get back into the IT industry and get placed. That is my core intent.
Thank you so much, Aparna, for sharing this, and welcome everyone once again, because you shared this. Again, me and Prerna are going to be your co-trainer. So Prerna, would you like to quickly once again introduce yourself, because I think few people have joined today again.
Yes, sure. So again, a warm welcome to all of you to this super interesting and very informative session. I'm Prerna. I have around 14 plus years of experience in IT. I've worked in a lot of companies like Accenture, TCS, L&T Infotech, and quite a few domestic banks. Currently, I'm also working with one of the leading banks as a PMO. So I started my career after completing my master's in computer application in 2008. As a developer, I was into development, then I started leading, then I got into project management, and currently I'm working as a PMO. So that is like managing multiple projects and delivering and taking care of an entire vertical in a department. So yes, along with all this, I really have a passion for teaching. I really love the energy we have while in online classes. So that is why I'm here. So thank you so much. And again, a welcome to all of you. Let's get started to an exciting journey. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prerna, for sharing this. Yes, welcome everyone. This is Kumar Gaurav. I am one of your trainer along with Prerna. Apart from being technical trainer of Be Agile Scrum track, I am also working in a reputed IT company based in USA. I have total 18 years of experience, in fact 18 plus, and the 18 plus of experience consists of variety of the positions, where I currently serving as a senior release manager for one of the security product-based company, especially for the USA. And I come from QA background, as well as I have under me, I had privilege to guide 20 plus team of the people, including the business analyst and QA. Apart from this, I am India's Amazon #1 best-selling author. I'm a mindset coach. I'm healer. I'm scale-up abundance coach and a business coach as well in India. Apart from these all, so yeah, this was the quick short intro. And what I'm going to do is that, because I had asked you initially the core intent, and we landed up sharing that the core intent is to get placed in the corporate of America in IT. So do you know that anything what you have the objective for, any dream you have, any core intent you have, that requires to be protected. Otherwise, what happens, if we are not going to protect our objective or our goal, the focus does not remain the same. And we have something amazing under the protection shield, that retains and that maintains the stability of protection. Okay, how and what we call it? We call it as a code of honor, and that I'm going to share with you. So on the screen you will see the 6 element which we are going to call it as a code of honor. And if we together abide by these principles, we are going to complete this track on time, and we are going to get the result for what we have enrolled for in this journey. So the very first code of honor would be showing up live, and that is being on time by being punctual and remain highly committed. Why? Because there is one universal law associated with this that says that how you do anything is how you do everything. This is something which I learned myself hard way from one of my mentor as well. And this practice will remain you to continue to serve in once you get placed in the corporate of America and IT. And that's the reason you need to practice this showing up live, being on time, being punctual, highly committed. Because tomorrow if you go into any boardroom, you have practice, and that's why you will remain you will continue to contribute in the same similar way in your new career and new journey, and that will never embarrass you. That's number one. Number two is because you have started your journey under 6 pillars of Guru schools, where the very first pillar says that instructor-led free training. That's you are here the part of. And when you have started your journey with this free training, understand you become a student. So why? Because you are learning. And when you start your learning, do you need to remain just a student? No. The answer is no. I want you to become a full stack student. So what are the basic traits of this student? So you need to do all the assignments which are given to you, do self-research, and repeat what you have learned. And because we are talking about doing this assignment, self-research, repeat what you have learned. So I want to quickly appreciate these 2 people who took time and created small small summary. I think one was Krunal and another was Aparna. So big round of applause for committing to what you have picked up as a training. So can we unmute and just clap for Krunal as well as for Aparna? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Superb. And you know what? Let me ask you this thing, because we are learning. Tell me one thing. What does learning takes? How a proper learning happens? Learning requires what? Who will give this answer?
Focus.
Okay,
Practice.
focus, practice. What else?
Retention.
Hard work.
Retention, hard work, dedication, commitment. Okay, anything else? All right. So thank you so much for all those answers. Are not wrong, not bad, but you know what? The basic things that learning requires is nothing but energy. Learning requires energy, and that's the reason I want you to start your learning journey with the full energy. And it takes a complete courage to complete and being the full stack student. So, and these elements are the part of it. If you have super energy, then you will commit to do it, and you will commit to follow it, and you will commit to complete it. Okay, and that's the reason I want each one of you to pick up to that energy zone where you can contribute towards your own success. And when you will contribute towards your own success, will you not take the responsibility of that your success? Will you?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course, that you will. Thank you
Yes.
so much for your
Yes,
answer.
definitely.
So I want you to take the responsibility of your success, take the full responsibility. But when you will not follow even the basic principles, learning with the energy so that you can lead a life towards the success, if you will not follow, what you will attract that? What is the opposite of success?
Failure.
Failure. So
Yes.
you will have to take even the responsibility of your failure. Some failure which you yourself have attracted, when you will take that responsibility, then only you can correct them. Do you agree with this? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
we want to correct that and we want to convert that into the success. And then this failure does not remain the failure. This will become the trail of the success. And that's why I want we together to take the full responsibility of our own success as well as failure. That's our third code of honor. And the fourth one is coming up over here with the strong mindset, which includes the positivity. I want you to thrive with the bulletproof positivity. And how do you do that? I'll tell you how do you do that, by increasing your receptivity. But how it will happen? When you will have this learning mindset intact, when you are following the first pillar of Guru Schools, that is instructor-led free training. And when you are doing so, learning only will happen when you go complaint free and load yourself with the gratitude. And these all, as I said, will start when you will increase the receptivity. And how will you do that? One audio track which I have given to all of you and requested you to listen to it every single day at least once. But what does this speaker of this track says? Listen to this track at least thrice. But I totally understand, considering the commitment and the layer of the work we are involved into, at least starting this track once in a day gives you this set of mindset, this package of the mindset, and that you will start experiencing from day one. If literally you are paying attention to start listening to Stranger's Secret, the audio track which I have shared with you, you can put it into the 2x mode. This was very, very, very old track, but I re-recorded in my own voice so that it can bring the clarity. And you may continue to finish it up just within 15 minutes, because it is just even 30 minutes long. When you will put it in 2x mode while doing your exercise, your workout, or your gym, or anything else, even mere walking, you will be able to finish it off within 15 minutes. That's the reason you need to go through this every single day until you are here, and practices this for 30 days. That's what Earl himself says, who is the speaker in this audio. And the second one is that when you are starting any learning, yesterday we saw that the importance of golden quadrant of learning. Okay. And the golden quadrant of learning comes with the declaration with the anchor. Why? Because your focus is just like a ship. Your focus is just like an anchor, I would say. Okay. And if that anchor will not be there, the complete entire ship may wander in the ocean of thoughts here and there, and thereby you may lose your focus. What does anchor does? What does anchor do? It will hold your focus intact and help you to continue to take a deep dive into the deep learning. And that's the reason you need to always start your learning with the declaration with anchor. And then whatever you have learned, that you need to draw and scribble on the piece of paper. Okay. And once you draw that, then you summarize it. How do you do that? You summarize it like you have been doing. You saw the example of Krunal as well as Aparna. How did they summarize in a minute or two that what they had learned last day? And why do we need to do that? Why this complete golden quadrant of learning is required? Because that retains your memory for longer when you completely follow this. And I want you to retain whatever you have learned in your memory. It improves, it increases, it strengthens your dendrite connection that start getting built up when you start learning something new. Do you understand this? Why this golden quadrant of learning is required? Do you get it, everyone?
Yes.
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 And that's the strongest reason we need to follow this declare, learn, draw, and summarize process. So are we ready for the declaration with anchor?
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
how we are going to declare? We are going to declare with one bodily anchor, which we call it as a part of NLP, that is neuro linguistic programming, where we are going to give a self high five, that is nothing but a simple clap, and at the count of 3 we will clap, that is self high five, and then we will repeat what you see on the screen as a selected string. So if we are ready, then repeat after me after the clap. 1, 2, 3, and clap. I am a quick learner.
I'm a
I am
I
a
am a
quick
quick
learner.
learner.
What others can learn and master,
what
others
Others can
learn
learn
and
and
master.
master.
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
That.
And let's continue with the again another clap. 1, 2, 3, and clap. Because I'm an awesome learner,
Because I'm an
Because I am
awesome
an
learner,
awesome learner.
today's learning is going to be
Today's
today's
learning is
Learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
Super
super
duper
duper easy
easy
to
to
me.
me.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for saying so, committing so. Yes, it is going to be super duper easy because you said so. But at the end, remember, we have done these all just because to get placed. And once we get placed, we are earning. And once we are earning, I want you to become a giver. When you give, what it does with us, it keeps our ego away on the path of learning. It makes us more spiritually grounded on this path of growth. I want you, with this intent, to have an intent of charity as well. Once you will start earning, I would request you, because my other students do every single week, because they are, a few of them are learning, earning on weekly basis. They give away at least 10% of what they are earning. But I want you to start doing, if you are not earning, but at least have this intent. Once you will start earning, you will start contributing at least 5%, if not 10%, in a giving away or giving back to the society. Why? Because once you give, you grow, and once you receive, you may survive. Do you want to just grow or survive? Of course, the answer should be grow. Okay. And there is another universal law stated, associated with it, which everyone must be knowing, that what goes around comes around. What you give will grow, and because you want to grow monetarily, you need to start giving away charity, in terms of money, and whatever it could be, with the whatever capacity you can. It could be in donating towards temple, mosque, churches, or in whatever causes you are believing, even to feeding hungries, feeding orphan, adopting orphans, helping elders in a old home age, or wherever you believe in. And when you are doing so, start appreciating what you do, what others do for you. And even something doesn't happen to you immediately, instantly, because every scene is preparing for you to other next stronger scene. And there is another universal law associated with this, says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. So on this note, let's move back towards the reality, what we have been learning. And in fact, this is the reality. So this is string that binds us with this reality. And we are going to explore further about agile learning, agile methodology. We have seen so far what we have seen. We have, in the last session, we had candidate intro, which we repeated again, and then why you wanted to undergo this training, and why you want to get placed in it. And further we learned about the the 7 steps towards the waterfall methodology. If you did not know this, go back and watch the recording, okay, of the very first day. We looked into the Agile intro, how Agile evolved, why Agile was needed, and where Agile works, okay. And let's understand more in detail about the agility and flexibility, because they look alike, okay. So the end goal for agility and flexibility remains the same, that is adapt to the change. Can someone tell me why change is needed and why you should remain excited and get excited the moment as a scrum master or business analyst, especially as a business analyst, when you start listening and when you decode there is some change in the application or software? What is the importance of change? What it does to you once you get placed? Any answer?
Brings more revenue.
Wow, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for answer. Yes, it brings more revenue and you want to have more revenue, right? Once you get placed. Yes or yes? Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Everyone? Yeah?
Yes.
You want to continue to earn and
Yes.
you continue to earn more, right? That's the reality. And this change, the more focus you have on the change, you must continue to get excited, because this is the thing which will bring more money on table, especially for you in terms with incentive, with bonuses and all, and some additional amount to the project in which you are working, and thereby goes to company. So thank you so much for your answer. And this is what is the core difference I'm going to talk is agility is time boxed. However, flexibility does not require any time boundation. Okay, agility means fast moving. Your project is divided in the chunk of requirements. Okay, and that requirement needs to be fulfilled, designed, and shipped in a very faster mode. So that's why agility requires to be fast moving. Flexibility means even if you gradually move, that is okay. Agility looks for the quick reaction and responses. However, flexibility means even if you have the delayed response, flexibility is okay about it. Okay, so what we are going to look further, we are going to look further in few things. We are going in a very little bit of fast track mode, and we are going to learn now today about Agile Manifesto in a glance. Okay, so Agile Manifesto, like when you got inside the candidate career counseling session, there you learned about the 6 pillars of Guru schools. Have you heard this terminology before, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this 6 pillars of Guru schools, because of which you will continue to move towards getting placed. Okay. However, inside this very first pillar, that is instructor led free training, there are the various tracks. Okay, Agile Scrum is one of the track. Again, when we started the training itself of the first pillar, that is the Agile Scrum track, you at the first got introduced with the code of honor, that is the core value of this track. Okay, uh, do you remember that? And we just now revised it. Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
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 So the
Yes.
answer is yes. We revised the 6th code of honor, 6 core values. And because we are starting with the agile, there is something called as a manifesto. Okay, even it has got some values and principle. So agile also have its own value and principle. So here you are encountering what every single step you have been watching and witnessing, that every single thing is being protected with its value. Did I bring your attention towards this strong values where everywhere we are talking about? And that's what you are going to also learn today, the values and principle of agility. Okay, So did your focus expand a little bit? Did you feel little bit of did you feel little bit of wowed? Yes, I'm witnessing everywhere. This value is super duper important. Have you witnessed this? Are you observing this, by the way?
Yes.
May I have your answer, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your answer. So that's the reason, if you are observing it, your attention is expanding, your focus is expanding, and thereby you must start witnessing what is the importance of these value and these tools. So if values is important, so we need to know what all the values this agile principle or agility has. So there is something which we call it as a Agile Manifesto. We are going to learn about it. We are going to learn about agility in the projects and tools for practicing Agile. Because we are getting into the details of Agile, I'm just done with the quick intro and then code of honor and values of the first track, and also talk about little bit of difference between agility and flexibility. Let's get into the details of Agile Manifesto, and then I'll just quickly explain it, and then we'll move to our co-trainer Prerna, requesting her to explain further. So let's get into this detail of Agile Manifesto. Agile Manifesto that you can watch and see on scrum.org. You can take the note of it. Scrum.org. Are you taking the note of it? Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Scrum.org, when you will go on that, you will find Agile Manifesto comes with 4 values and 12 principles. Those 4 values are: individuals are important and interactions over processes and tools. Tools are okay. Tools are like I'm using earphone, I'm using mic, I'm using keypad, I'm using computer. Those all are tools are important. And further inside that, these are hardware, software, I'm using Zoom and PPT. These are important. Okay, the process is that we are going to meet every single Tuesday as well as Sunday, and apart from this, you will be doing your assignments and you will be attending RRP session, that is on Tuesday and Thursday. RRP means reference ready resume preparation with founder of the Guru Schools, and there you will be optimizing your profile, and all those all are processes. But do you think that these can only be implemented when you become the part of the interaction? Yes. How will you otherwise come to know? For that to know, you need to be communicated. Do you agree with this? Are you paying attention, by the way? Yes. Thank you so much. And interaction, for that, every individual should be knowing that. So for me, only interaction is important, or individuals are also, individuals are also, right?
Yes.
If individuals are not involved, if they are not being heard and not communicated, what will be the use of process and tools? And that's the reason, even students, when they come up individually to my individual window, we do respond. Prerna responds, Gaurav responds, we both respond. Okay, because our core intent, our values are very much clear. This is what exactly is aligning inside the Agile Manifesto. And when we are talking about the training for you and me, this is just not a training. This is a complete 8 weeks long project, and on which we are working. And the second value says that over comprehensive documentation, working software is important. What will be the use of documentation? Hey, we are going to meet in the next 15 minutes, and if the software Zoom is not responding, right? Sometime it may happen that I am completely ready, okay, and I'm talking about these 6 pillars and 6 values, and the very first value says that showing up live, being on time, remain punctual, and blah blah blah, everything. But what if These are the part of documentation. If my software is not working, will this documentation make any important role?
No.
No,
No.
because there is a bottleneck. My Zoom itself is not responding, and even this in next coming 8 weeks you are going to experience that, and this is totally all right. But we should always focus that it should not happen willingly or unknowingly. By chance, sometime it's okay, it can be fixed. Okay, like your software is working until it was with you when you are developing and designing, but when it was handed over and when it was sold to you, you were not able to see, because where the software was installed, it itself was not taking the care of it. It itself, it was not being compatible with the software. The hardware was not compatible. Maybe your phone was completely full of the memory, and that's why it was not allowing the new app to get opened. This is quite possible. So for that, what do? You will free up some memory. Have you experienced this one earlier before? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And there is no harm into the documentation and software. It was just because the container of it, which was not able to hold it well. So that you may also experience, and then it comes that come what may, my software should be workable. So even after 5 minutes of delay, that's okay sometime when technology happens. Okay, so that's okay. Sometimes it's okay, but it cannot be the practice. Okay, and that's why it becomes the another second alignment with the second value of Agile Manifesto. The third one says that over contract negotiation, customer collaboration is important. Contract is okay sometime when people start attending the session, candidate career counseling. Few talk about the contract. So do we have any contract? No, that is not required, because in few government or in few practices, contract is not that important. Customers are given importance to, and when customer are important, if we are able to collaborate with the customer, even if we have the contract, what is important? Just because it is written something, we cannot go out of the way. Agile says that even if you need that, you need to go out of the way, continue to serve your customer. Okay, don't just get bothered what is mentioned in the negotiation. It is all about the experiences. Okay, if you start getting the better experiences, the collaboration is going to get stronger. Okay, so it's all up, and how it will happen? Through communication over, right? That was the very first practice. So are we communicating together with each other? Are you experiencing that?
Yes.
Yes, and that
Yes.
signifies towards the collaboration. The fourth one is responding to change over following a plan. We have a big plan. Okay, we have a big plan of 8 weeks. Sometime it may happen that all of a sudden a mandatory mandatory what mandatory holidays declared. I'm just giving you some example. And for what the entire US citizen had to decide that they cannot come up, or it could be the internet blackout. Okay, if in the USA or in India, from where you are getting the training. Okay, what is going to happen? So that was the plan of the 8 weeks, but just because 2 days internet did not turn up, are we not going to respond to the change? Because we have committed, of course that time we need to respond to the change, and we can accommodate, we can go extra mile, and we can accommodate the remaining training, and we make sure and ensure that you are served with the completion of the training. Are we clear with these four values?
Yes.
You are important
Yes.
as individual,
Yes.
working software and customer collaboration and response. Thank you for responding. Okay, so thank you so much for responding, and this is what just now you demonstrated, and this was quite easy to learn. And with this comes the Agile Principle. So thank you so much. We are getting inside the Agile Principle. Just now we have looked at the four values, and for principle I would like to invite Prerna ji. Prerna ji, if you are listening to me, You can unmute and
Yes,
you
yes,
can take this up.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much for a very in detail code of honor and this starting the agile,
Yeah.
principles. So I would say agile principles are like the pillars of agile methodology, wherein we get to understand how agile works, what agile is via them. First of all, they're very easy to understand. They are written in very plain English, so it is, any layman can understand it. But going beyond it, only words is the aim we have here from the training point of view. So I'll just request, maybe Amin, Aparmita, and the sequence, just start reading one by one. At least these four of them, and then I have some further questions too before I explain. Yeah, please go ahead. What is mentioned here?
Can I start?
Yeah, please go ahead. Just read one line. What is mentioned? There are four, right? So I want
Yeah.
any four volunteers to just read out the four lines, and then I'll get started.
Okay, Agile Principles is individual and interaction over processes and tools.
Working
Okay, thank
software
you.
over working software over comprehensive documentation.
Thank you. Next.
Customer collaboration over contract negotiation.
Okay, thank you. And next.
Responding to
change.
change over following a plan.
Okay, thank you so much for reading this out. Now, I want to understand what do you get from this first line when I say individuals and interactions over process and tools? So what is your understanding on this?
It is open to adapt or changing the needs.
It's not
Okay.
strict like waterfall methodology that you have to file the processes. You can use your own interpretations.
Okay. On the right track.
The people involved in the process are more important. The interactions between them is more important, and not just the tools and the processes.
Okay. Who said this? Who said this?
Aparmita.
Yeah, Aparmita, definitely on point. This is, first of all, what everybody explained is right. It's definitely what it means. But what you just highlighted, others, please go on mute. What you just highlighted was the crux of this point, that when we work in agile, whenever we talk about software delivery or software SDH, software development life cycle, or IT, everywhere we talk about processes and submissions and methodologies and everything. So that's all fine, because that's the way how the business and how the work happens. But when we talk about agile, the main thing to consider is, even though we have the processes and tools, or whatever your maybe some hierarchy of their decision making or anything, approval process, or you have any specific tools for working, that's all fine. But if customer asks for a change, for an update, or for anything, that has to be considered, because that is the latest development in that discussion. So I'll just like to give you some example for your understanding. Assumingly you're working on a website, okay? Assuming you're working on a website which is like an Amazon, .com, kind of like a shopping website. And in that earlier, the customer had said that we will have only male and female gender. We will not include kids section because we are trying to focus on the prime market or whatever reason. That's fine. Okay. I'm just giving you very broad examples. Things might not work in exact manner. It's just for understanding. So please try to get this. So you find you start working on that, you have all your BRD and all created. But then while in the flow, the customer understands that yes, the kids section, the kids area also has a lot of potential, and they should have a kids section, at least some things of them, starting with some maybe only clothing and not toys and whatnot. So then in such situation, agile, you do not go back to customer and say, no, I will not work on this because you did not mention that. but you would definitely talk to your seniors and, consider this and share the implications that while we include this will have additional cost, this will have additional time, this will, this will require these many efforts, but we will include this. So you see the difference. If it would have been a non-agile framework, we would have simply told them that it cannot be included or we cannot work on that, and that would have just gone. But in agile, we consider, because it's a customer, because it's an individual. So that is what it is. Individual interaction, their interaction with you, their discussion with you is more important than what was the process laid earlier. Okay, that's one thing. So are we good on this? Please try to have a very clear understanding. If you have any teeny tiny doubts, please ask me, because it's very important. And I'll keep asking you if you have any doubts. So are we good to go to the next principle?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sonali, Sharda, Pratibha, everybody, Krunal, all good?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to have yeses from you, because you all are on mute. You can just unmute yourself or share thumbs up, whatever suits you. So yes, good. So no, yeah, yes. So how about the next point?
I think
Working
it's on the wrong
software.
slide.
No, accommodating changing requirement. Yeah. Wait. Gaurav, you have changed the slide or something?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the
Yeah. Can you go back to
Yes,
the
yes.
earlier slide, please?
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Working software. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Working software over comprehensive documentation.
Yes. And how would you explain this in your words?
We
Yes.
need a software that is up and running, and that does the important work that we wanted to do.
Okay.
Okay,
Anybody else?
reading the headline working software, I will think it is to reduce the paperwork and support needless documentations.
Can you repeat what you just said? I didn't get the context. Yeah.
Means seeing the headline is working software over comprehensive documentation. I have not read anything before, so I'm reading that. I can think like, it is like, there's less of paperwork there required, and like more is developed on the computer.
Okay. That's on the same lines. Yes.
My interpretation is that the end result, I mean, the work that is given to us is making a software. So if the software is not working up and running, there is no point in doing anything. So just documenting everything you have done and not having something that's working is basically useless.
Who said this?
So,
Aparmita. Okay.
Aparmita.
Okay. So to be very honest, you all are right. But still,
Can I explain this one?
please, yeah, please, Sushana. Yeah.
Yes, what I understand in Agile, so before even creating documentation, a customer can have the access of the software. So that is called the working software, which was not possible in the waterfall model. But in Agile methodology, here, a customer can have access of the software, which is called the working software. Even before the documentation, they can have the access of that software.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. There was some lag. Okay. So to sum of all of you, what you've said, I just like to highlight this. I'll ask one question because it's a typical interview question, and it's good that you know that. So I'll ask you: is there any documentation involved in Agile? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Anybody saying no?
I'm confused. Actually, when we learned last, they said Agile is It's like a manifesto. We just write what the people need, and then we take what is written. So I don't think there's a documentation required in Agile till now, because we are just accepting what is given by the client, or we're just taking
Yeah.
down what is given by the client.
I understand what you're saying, but how are you taking what is given by client? That taking has to be some way, right?
Uh-huh.
I think
Okay.
documentation is required any which way, whether it is agile or any other type of working. Documentation is definitely required of what the customer has asked to do and
Mm-hmm.
what in return has been done for them. I think
Even though, because
both
there's
the
a
things are
process you
documented.
have to follow, so you need to take the
I
documentation.
really want this. I really want this debate to have more participation. I am not able to hear from Pratibha, Savan, and Aparna. I guess I'm not sure. Amin added, Amir or Sonali. See, guys, why I'm on purpose involving you is because even in an interview and group discussions, these kind of questions are being asked, and in that time, in that scenario, in that zone, your mind might play games, or you might feel little confused. So right now, if we have this discussion, you will be full and final clear in your mind that okay, it is this or it is that. Okay. So without stretching it further, I'll give you the answer. You all are right, but you all are not on the exact point what it was.
Yeah, working
Aparna
cycle
was
means
really right, very close to what even Suchana had really explained nicely. So the bottom line of any software development process is documentation is required. Okay, that is the question I asked Kunal when she said that whatever the customer is giving, we are taking. Agreed, but how are we taking? We are taking notes. We are having proper BRD. We are having proper process flow diagrams. The only difference is the earlier methodologies like waterfall or spiral or other, we used to have very heavy documentation. Like there was one phase which was like requirement gathering and documentation, in which entire team or BAs or architects used to do only documentation, and there used to be a lot of documentation. Okay, but when we talk about agile, because agile is so quick, now in further sessions you get to know that there will be hardly 2 weeks or 4 weeks sprints, that is like 15 days or 1 month, or even at times lesser than that time period. So in that time period, the requirement is to give workable software. So in such a scenario, see, try to understand the situation. In such a scenario, when you have such strict deadlines, such strict deliverables to be given to the customer, it is very logical, and it is the ask of the need that your documentation has to be to the point and specific. So the answer to the question which I asked was, is any documentation required in Agile? The answer is yes. Many a times in those objective kind of questions, people in the heat of the moment say no, but it's not so. Yes, it is required, but then when someone asks you, can you elaborate that, or or they ask you a reverse question like I did, is documentation required? The answer should be kind of the mix of what all of you have given, that yes, it is required, but as it's a very time bound process, it's a time bound methodology, documentation has to be very specific and as per the customer requirement only. So we do not have super long theses and essays and extra explanation. We have whatever the customer gives, all the story points of the task, or all the requirements mentioned in your BRD, and that is also ever evolving. That again, I go back to the first point, that in case if there is any change from the customer, like I give the earlier example, they want to add kids section, they want to add some other details, their website, they are free to do that. But then the acceptance and the approval comes from your internal hierarchy. Like you as a scrum master or BA cannot take this decision upfront. You have to tell the client politely that we will get back to you once we have a confirmation from a senior. So you go back to your scrum master, you go back to your product owner, you go back to your delivery manager, your managerial hierarchy, senior management, and you talk to them. See, I'll tell you some real life example. While we actually deliver any project, if there's some minor change, like if the customer wants to have their website theme in blue color instead of per se green or yellow, like it's just a smaller change like color change or adding some images or some effects, which is not too much of effort on development side, okay, which is a smaller effect. We give them for free, we give them in upfront, we tell them, because we earn brownie points, because ultimately entire delivery, entire business is works on relationships. Yes, so to maintain those relationships, please let me know if you have any doubts or any further clarity on that. I'm just talking plain understanding, plain business, real experience. So to have this bond with the customers, we really give them some freebies or some cookies. In our says we call it free cookies. So basically, the customer is happy that you're doing something out of the box for them, which they did not ask earlier, and it's for free. So they have the good feel good feeling, and that it was barely any effort, and you're doing in good faith. So yes, but then when there are some other things which are going to cost you time, like for example, if you're working on a 2-week project, a 2-month project, and if the earlier additional task can give you additional 2-month project, then no, you cannot accept that upfront, right? So you have to use your mind, you have to use your understanding of what customer is asking, how it is going ahead, and then you have to take a decision. So coming back to your second point is, yes, documentation is required, but you try to focus on this point, comprehensive documentation, right? So comprehensive is the keyword where it says that you don't have to have too detailed of a documentation. You just have to have the hit on the head or the specific pointers to be followed, and then that is it. So are we good, guys? I want yeses from all of you, and
Yes.
Yes.
know if anybody
Yes.
has any doubts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
all good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. Savan, Suchna, Sharda, everybody good? Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, yes.
I got thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Yeah. So the next point, who will read and who will try to explain? Yeah.
Customer collaboration over contract negotiation.
Yes, and what does it mean in general? What do you understand from it?
Uh, for me, basically, it means like what the customer wants and what you're trying to accomplish and what you need basically to complete that contract. And basically, like if the customer wants to change something, and then you would basically go over it and like go over it with the customer, being like, it'll take this long, or it'll like we won't be able to do it in the time frame you give us, like that.
I didn't get the last sentence. What you said?
Yeah, like the time frame. Like if the customer wants to change something, you would ask them like, oh, and then you have to either tell them like you would have to extend the contract for like a couple more weeks, or you would tell them like we could get it done in the time frame you gave us.
Okay, okay. Not exactly what it states, but nearby. Anybody else? Thank you for adding, Savan. Yeah. Anybody else?
I think for me, customer collaboration is more important because the customer give us the value and over any contract negotiation. So we cannot be rigid with the negotiation because the customer relationship is more important. So again, we need to go for a
Yes,
good
yes. This is
interaction
what
with
I
the
was.
customer.
Yeah. Very well explained, Sonali.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else would like to join, or it is kind of like simple? So yes, I'll not ask further questions. To be very honest, this principle means what it states. What it says, sorry. So it simply says that customer collaboration over contract negotiation means, like I would like to have the earlier example only because it's very suitable. If the customer comes and says, I want to have kids section, kids, boys and girls section in Amazon, maybe our Amazon, I'll call it, our Amazon.com. So you will not tell them that, oh, no, sir, we did not have this in earlier contract. We did not have this in earlier project. Now we can't have it. How can you tell now? And no, you're not supposed to, because you're working in Agile. And so this is how it comes. This principle comes where we say that whatever the customer is talking to you, the interaction, the expectation, that is always important, or that is always considered over the contract. Okay, because the contract is done before you start the process, before you start the agile process, right? But the collaboration or the interactions are happening on daily basis, more or less. So that is very recent. That is as per the customer ask. So we have to follow that. And also, this is again related to the earlier two principles where we say, you know, instead of, not instead of, I would say in any and every situation, what your customers ask is as of now, right? Like when we play with babies or when we take care of kids, if they say they're hungry, you give them food. If they say they want to play, you actually play with them because they're so small, you have to kind of cater to them. You don't say that, okay, you told me that you'll sleep after 2 hours and you're not sleeping now. Do we do that? Or we go with their flow? Okay, now they want to sleep, now they want to eat, because they're so small and they are not in that great control of their self, right? So so I know it might sound funny to compare your customer like that, but then imagine a customer or a client as a company. They have their vision, they have their targets, or they have their team who is working on their profit making or their future decisions. And that kind of, all these factors can kind of result into some changes in strategy, some changes in their products, or some changes in their website that you're working on. And ultimately, that is the recent development. And they come to you and they say, hey, we want to add this section in our website. Hey, we want to have this theme in our website, or we wanted a product look like this. So you definitely have to cater to that. And then you do not say that, okay, this was not mentioned in the contract. You definitely deliver, but delivery after the approvals from your seniors, and delivery only after understanding that it will not cost you more time, money, or resources. Always remember time, cost, and resources. And even if they do, like for example, if they are asking for the children's section, and the children's section is as good as men and women section, like you have so many varieties of their clothing and accessories and whatnot, and the toys and all. So it will take time, right? Because development will not happen overnight. So you have to talk to your seniors, and your maybe a product owner, a scrum master, or you along with them can be a part of the discussion and share that these are the additional time we will require. These are the additional costs that will incur. We'll have to have these many developers to have this website or this section of your website. So all in all, definitely customer is the priority, but you have to consider time, cost, and resources always. Okay. Am I good on this? Anybody has any doubts, or can we go to the next point?
Yes, we can go
Yes,
to the
yes,
next.
we're good.
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And now the last point is whatever we just talked about is the crisp of that. I'll just read out. It's quite simple. Responding to change over following a plan. I think I've just explained this in the earlier points, that whatever plan we had, that's fine. It's good to have the contract, the negotiation, the plan. But we always have to cater to what is the customer ask is as of now, like what they want now, today. So we can't tell them, okay, 2 months back you did not mention this, how can we work on that? See, these things actually used to happen earlier, when we used to talk about waterfall and all. Trust me, no changes, no exceptions were entertained. It was like a, we call it kale patthar pe rakir kind of, so it was like hard and fast that, okay, you have said this, we will not change that. But then this is not how the world works. The world has become very dynamic. There are many changes in technology, customer demand. Like you say, along with COVID, so many things have changed. Like, I remember banking was such a section where work from home was never allowed, because of all the banking norms and because of data sensitivity, or the database handling. It was not. But then once COVID was in and it was all over, everybody had to twist or change their principles, not principles, their policies, I would say, right? So yes, situation wise, future plan wise, their development strategies wise, change happen, and you have to follow whatever the response that you have received from the customer instead of any particular plan. Okay. So anybody has any doubts on this, please feel free to ask any kind of doubts. I'm more than welcome to resolve it. If not, then I'll just request Gaurav to add something on this if he wishes to. Yeah, Gaurav.
No, I think it got repeated once. I already had added, and then you further. So yes, we'll move to Agile Principles. So it was actually the values repeated. So yeah.
Okay.
So do you want me to take this, or you want to
Yeah, you can
continue?
take this slide and I'll continue the next one. Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
awesome. Thank you so much. So yes, so we have seen so far just now customer values and got elaborated, got to see the two perspective, and here we are with Agile Principle. So there we know that these are 12 and we are going to see first four first. So we are talking towards in these terms customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. So when we are talking about this, customers are happier when they receive working software at regular intervals rather than waiting extended periods of time between releases. Do you understand? That's what Prerna was talking about a while ago. This used to happen in earlier waterfall model days because none of the changes were entertained. And now that if I am coming back to you and asking this question to all of you, whether, I mean, are you able to understand Apamita, Aparna, and Krunal and Pratibha and Suchana and Saman and Sonali? Are you able to understand what do I mean by this?
Yes.
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 So what I'm taking your feedback frequently, right? We are delivering continuously something to you, some data and some information, and we are checking with you that whether you are able to consume them or not. What is happening over here? Continuous delivery is happening from Prerna and Gaurav, as well as we are making sure that we are also satisfied, you are also satisfied, whether you are able to understand the things. Yes. And whether your capacity of consuming the information has increased or not, that also we make sure when we start our delivery. Okay. How do we do that? By following the this golden quadrant of learning, where we anchor, where we declare, and that helps us to maximize our portion of receiving factor. Okay, that maximize our receiving antenna. And this is what exactly happens with the first Agile principle when it says that customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. We continue to deliver, and while this delivery happens, there is a particular situation when we ask for customers' feedback, and we are going to learn more in detail about it, how it happened. So, do you want to learn about it? Let me ask you first. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, super.
Yes.
Because you want to learn, you are going to explore it. Okay, soon along with us. The second one says that accommodate changing requirements throughout the development process. So the ability to avoid delays when a requirement or feature request changes. So Agile principle is so much beautiful. Like it may happen in the live call, right? In Prerna was just asking, someone was explaining something, can you repeat that? Or you might ask me or us just to repeat what I have explained. Can you ask us directly while the call is live? Yes.
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 The answer is yes, for everyone, in fact. So yes, you can ask when it is live. Imagine if we are giving that kind of delivery to our client, where client may ask us some kind of a new feature request, and we say, yes, we are ready to accommodate it. Here is your piece of previous requested work that was of a week or two, and now we are bringing the next work in upcoming week or two with the changes accommodated and incorporated what you are just now requesting. How delightful service it would be for a customer. When you are going for car service, you have explained what you needed to have, and while car washing is in process, you also go ahead and remind this into the garage that, hey, I wanted my dashboard to be shining. Will it be possible? And what if it says, hey, that's not so big deal, I'll make it possible, it will be easy. How delightful you will feel. What will be your experience? Good or good? Good?
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Good.
Yes, the
Good.
answer is yes, it is going to be good. And the same way Agile principle follows that accommodate changing requirement throughout the development process, that becomes the principle. And that adds a lot of value to this delivery portion, this delivery orientation. The third one becomes frequent delivery of working software. Again, working software is very, very important, but along with that, frequent delivery is very, very important. That's what we are focusing upon. So Scrum accommodates this principle since the team operates in software sprints or iteration that ensure regular delivery of working software. Imagine again, you are in garage, your vehicle is being serviced, and there the front part is done, and they call you and tell you, hey, Mr. So and so, or Miss So and so, or Mrs. So and so, this part was damaged and we just now repaired it. So we had applied the best quality of wire or something. Do you want some feedback, or do you want it first to be tested, or should we go ahead with the next move, because we see that some air filter requires to be changed or something like that, and we need to test it from within, from the car. Do you want us to test that, or do you want you yourself get inside the car and get it tested, if we are talking about AC air filter or something like that? Then you have the choice to say that, hey, you complete this and give it to me. I don't want to get bothered. So you first portion you complete it, but then you check for the intent. Why you are involving me every time? And they say that if you want to pitch any changes and bring some addition, you have time right now that you can guide us. Otherwise, once we are just focusing on the completion, once it is done, we will only do it when you will bring back or leave for a extra time, then we can accommodate the changes. But we are so much glad to accommodate your changes, the more frequent you will come to us and will tell to us. So do you think that he has cleared the intent, and he is making sure that whatever the delivery is happening, there is a intent behind that, is that this has to be workable always in your favor? Do you think that he's taking care of your favor? Do you think that he's paying more attention towards your requirement and towards your need? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why it
Yes.
is happening, and that's what we do by following this principle of Agile. The fourth one becomes collaboration between the business stakeholders and developers throughout the project. Better decisions are made when the business and technical team are aligned. So we are business, okay, we are giving the business to garage person. I'm just giving non-software example. So second, what happens, the technical person is the garage, the automobile engineer who is working in garage, especially for my car, and their collaboration happens. He is in talks with us, we understand what he is doing. And imagine if someone is giving me such kind of a service where he is explaining me that what he is doing with my stuff, what he is doing with my personal belonging. He is just not he is not just ignoring my presence and doing whatever he wanted to do, thinking that he will not be able to understand the automobile engineering parts, but he is completely making sure that whatever he is doing, it should be understood by my customer. How cool it would be when a customer will be able to understand what is going inside. I don't know that whether automobile sector has taken this up into consideration or not, but it becomes very much annoying when we are not knowing what parts has been changed, and we are just told in the bill, hey, this much bill has come because we have done this, and few parts we might not be knowing what those parts mean and what they do inside my car. Okay, and we go back because we don't understand. Sometimes we don't even get bothered to ask because we also assume we won't be able to understand. Have any of you have ever experienced this in the past? Yeah, any point of time, have any one of you have experienced this or not? That I
Yes.
wanted.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometime yes, sometime no, because
Yes.
sometimes it's okay, so you want to know everything A, B to Z, and sometime you might have experience, sometime you yourself don't go ahead and ask, but still at surface level you want to understand, and you understood that because you get your answer for 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and you assume for 4th point. At least whoever said yes for this, have you ever experienced this? You are very much top of it at for 1st point, 2nd point, initial 4 points, and 5th point you sometime ignore and move to the 6th. Have you done it ever?
Yes,
Unknown.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
it happens. Sometimes it
Yes.
happens. And imagine when garage owner or the automobile engineer, he himself comes and continue to explain this to you. How wonderful and different experience it would be. And that's what Agile is trying to accommodate in software industry. Okay, to make sure the collaboration is at height. Okay, stakeholders are updated, and development throughout the project is taking a great shape. So this is what 4 principles were. Just now I explained. We will move to the another 4 principle. So yeah. So Prerna, do you want me to continue or you want to take it up?
No, no, I'll take it. I'll take
Okay.
it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the
Welcome.
explanation, Gaurav.
Okay.
So yes, these are some of the very easy to understand yet crucial points or principles, I would say. So can anybody read this out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to go one by one, and then we'll discuss as we did earlier. Yeah, please go ahead.
Support, trust, and motivate the people involved. Motivated teams are more likely to deliver their best work than unhappy team.
Thank you. Next person, please.
Enable face-to-face interactions.
Communication is
Communication
more
is more
successful.
successful when development teams are co-located.
Okay, next.
Working software is a primary measure of progress. Delivering functional software to the customer is the ultimate factor that measures progress.
Right. Next.
Agile processes to support a consistent development pace. Teams establish a repeatable and maintainable speed at which they can deliver working software, and they repeat it with each release.
Thank you so much for reading this out and starting with the first pointers. Support, trust, and motivate the people involved. So this doesn't even apply to Agile, but this is very practical in real life also. We'll have to have, it's really great to have a team who is trustworthy, and team members are supporting each other, and there's a trust factor involved, right? So this and why this is so important in Agile that I explained to you earlier. We have a very small sprints. Okay, so the time duration is very strict, and the tasks are ongoing, continuous. So there is no time for a blame game or to pushovers like, okay, it's not my job, you have to do it, or I got late delivery or stuff like that. That generally happen in real life. So in such situations, the teams have to be very cordial, being in the trust factor with each other, and this is how the smooth sailing happens, if you ask me, right? So yes, motivation, support, and support as in this is a real life scenario, my personal experience. So what happens in such cases, as agile teams are quite small comparatively to other teams. So in such a scenario, if somebody is out or is not present due to whatever, maybe some personal emergencies or some other health issues, so in that case, other team members for that particular day or time, they take over their work and ensure that delivery is not impacted. I'm not saying this is a practice, but I'm saying this is done to ensure that a delivery is going ahead smoothly. So to have such kind of atmosphere, or with the team, it's very important that we have to support and trust and motivate each other. So this is an agile principle, but try to understand this. This applies to everywhere, and this should be applicable to all of us when we work. And it's a really good practice. So right, this is easy to understand.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Enable face-to-face interactions. So that simply means, rather this was very applicable pre-COVID, but now also even we are virtually connected, we are always in communication. So it simply means communication is more successful when development teams are co-located. So this was earlier highlighted because see, it's the ease of communication, right? You want to talk to someone, you just go to their desk or seat and talk to them and clear it out. Now in virtual, it's like what we set up Teams meeting, we set up calls, and we set up some we book the calendar and we have the meetings, or kind of things like that. So whereas, but when we sit in a location, it's like you just go over and talk to the person and it is resolved, right? So that is why this is very important. And see, it's a very, I would say, clear logic or rather common sense kind of point of view that they have highlighted, that if you are in a same location or same situation. One second. All right. So things are very easy to handle. Okay. So are we good on this? This is really quite easy to understand. Enable face-to-face interactions.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Everybody's
Yes.
okay with it. Yes, yes. And I think you all must be experiencing this in your home, in your society, or even in your other organizations if you are part of, not offices, but in any institutes. And also, I'll share one personal finding in this. When we talk face to face, we are able to understand the intention also a lot clearly, like their body language, their tone, the smile on the face, or the tone when they speak. It's quite difficult to gauge that when you're on virtual. I'm not saying you're not able to, but it's so the comfort level is more when we are face to face. This is what this point has to say. But things have shifted a little in post COVID world, but still this is one of their principles because this eases or at least lightens the work. Okay. So moving to the next point, working software is the primary measure of progress. So absolutely, as me and Gaurav have been highlighting continuously, that along with everything, along with collaboration and discussion and talking and everything, creating plan and documentation, what is the main intention? The main intention lies in delivering working software. So it's like that, considering the earlier example of Amazon, our Amazon.com, you delivered a women's section, you delivered men's section website, you delivered kids section website. Now they want to get into the grocery side of it. Earlier they were into only shopping and clothing. Now they want to add groceries. So this is the delivery I'm talking about, guys. So you worked on the on women's gender, men's gender, then the kids section. Now you are going to, so you're just delivering whatever being asked for. So do you, so imagine if these 4 pointers, or rather say men, female, and kids and groceries, these 4 pointers were your delivery milestones, 25%. So when you finished genders, both the genders and the kids section, you're almost 75% done. So do you see what I did there? I just gauge the progress. I just kind of try to formulate it in a percentage. Get my point? So this is how we actually, so for example, if I have like say 10 requirements and out of which 5 requirements are submitted or are delivered, then my plain math would be I've completed 50% of my work. Isn't it easy to understand this way? Yes, yes, no,
Yes.
Yes.
maybe,
Yes.
nothing. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. And last but not the least, agile processes to support a consistent development pace. So this means in agile we have to ensure that our development speed or development pace is consistent. That means if in one sprint, by the way we'll come to that, but sprint generally means the time period of our work. So that is generally of can start from 2 weeks to 4 to 6 weeks depending on the sprint. Generally it's between 2 to 4 weeks. So in a particular sprint, if we are delivering, I would say, again, taking the same example of 10 requirements, in the next sprint also, that there has to be only, similar or closer to this. You just can't work for one single requirement for entire release. That is definitely not acceptable unless it's like the delivery. It's like a very big requirement and you're breaking it down. No. So in short, this simply means whatever speed or pace you have of development, you'll have to continue that and keep delivering in that fashion. So that gives a trust factor to the customer also, and that gives the comfort to you also that okay, you're delivering to the customer. Get my point? Any doubts in this point? Yeah.
Can I get an example if you don't mind?
Yeah, definitely. So I just gave a very simple example where I said that in one sprint, if I've worked on 5 requirements, okay, then the next
Uh-huh.
sprint, like for example, I'll give you a very very classic and simple example. Okay, everybody, especially in India, we have house help, we get cooks or maids or who help us in doing the household chores, right? So
Right.
first day a maid comes and in 1 hour she makes like 10 chapatis and maybe one sabzi and dal and rice, like the full-fledged lunch or meal she prepares in 1 hour, and you're good with it. Okay, you are like comfortable. Okay, she's fast and she's done. Okay, cool. So you are fine. So assuming that, I know it's a very fun or real life example, but try to compare between that. So this is how the things work in actual industry also. So
Okay.
tomorrow if she comes and in that 1 hour she's just kneading the dough and she's just cutting the vegetables and nothing is completed, and then what would be your reaction? Like, you don't have consistent delivery. I mean, he will not talk in this language, but you will be surprised, right? Because one day she showed this much. Because see, when people work in certain fashion, we try to understand their average speed, their delivery, how they work, how much time they require. So all that is, kind of is in your mind. So same happens with the development team. If in earlier they were working on 10 requirements in the initial beginning, then the basic expectation would be definitely around that they can complete 8 or 12, but they just can't skip and not complete even 5 or 4. I'm telling you this
Okay.
in very plain English or plain example, right? Things can change, but you only tell me how would you able to understand what is their pace is if their delivery keeps changing. That is why the word is consistent pace. This means there, and this is also throughout delivery also. It should not be happen. It should not happen that for 15 days sprint, they completed say 30% work in first sprint, and last 70% they have kept for the next week, 1 week. That
Right.
it is not going to get completed. So the
Mm-hmm.
the basic the basic model has to be 50-50 work in 2 weeks. So you have to achieve to that. If you're not, then you'll have to, maybe team might have to stretch or they might have to take some help or anything. But then see, imagine it's a day-to-day work. Agile it's quite concentrated when I talk about this methodology, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
every day's work count. So we have a hard stop or we have some deliverable mark for entire day, for every day, for 2 weeks, depending on the task, depending on the size and complexity of the work. So
Mm-hmm.
that pace has to be maintained. Okay, am I good on this, Kunal? You got it?
Yes. 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 Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Anybody else has any doubt? Suchna, Pratibha, Aparna, Sonali, Savan, Amin, Aparna, all cool?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are good.
Yeah, I cannot
Yes.
see Amin in the call, I guess. Yeah, okay. Fine. That's it, Gaurav. We can. You want to add something, or we can go to the next point, please?
We'll go to next, Prerna.
Sure.
So should I?
Yes, yes. No, no, I can continue. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, it is again very simple. Yeah, you can start reading it. By the way, the reason behind me asking you to read it, when you read by yourself, you have your own set of understanding, and I really want to trigger or to start that. So yeah, please go ahead. I'll request earlier who could not read in the last slide, they can just come forward and read. Yeah, please.
Uh,
Yes, please go
no.
ahead. Yeah.
Attention to technical detail and design enhances agility. The right skills and good design ensures the team can maintain the pace, constantly improve the product, and sustain change.
Thank you, Savan. Very well said. Yeah, next point.
Simplicity, develop just enough to get the job done for right now.
Okay, next, please.
Self-organizing team encourages great architects, requirements, and designs. Should I read the small one also? The skilled and motivated team members who have decision-making
Yeah.
power, take ownership, communicate regularly with other team members, and share ideas that deliver quality products.
Regular reflections on how to
Okay.
become more effective, self-improvement, process improvement, advancing skills, and techniques help team members work more efficiently.
Okay. Okay. So starting with first one, what I mean, what is not there to understand? I mean, it is quite easy, and it is clearly mentioned. Attention to technical detail and design enhances agility. That means when you give proper attention to what is happening around you while in phase of development, technical details like, the technology that you're using, the development or the coding practices that you have, or database structure that you have, that's all on a technical side. You did not be too involved into it for that matter. But then whenever there is minutely, these all things are minutely observed, definitely it enhances agility, means your development speed, your pace of work definitely changes and increases, and that helps. Okay, so this goes for everything. Like for example, when we used to prepare for exam, if you do all the diagrams, assuming it's a science exam, all the diagrams, all the formulas, everything in detail properly, you were bound to get full marks, right? It is that simple. So that way, when you give detail, when you give attention to all the detailing, all the work, all the features, and ensure that team works in the same pace. We earlier discussed the same pace, and they work on how the product and how the maybe the website or the product or whatever that is delivering, or that is getting developed properly. You're good to go, right? So this basically improves the product quality, improves the agility, improves the speed, and overall process is evolved, or overall delivery is properly done. So am I good in this point? Yeah, can we go ahead?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
please.
see, these
Yes.
we understand these are actually simple English points, which most of you, I'm pretty confident most of you would understand on your own also. The only thing we want to highlight, their connection with agile and agility, right? Now, simplicity is such a beautiful point, and it is really nicely explained in one simple word: develop just enough to get the job done for right now. This simply means, from my personal experience, I've worked with such developers who are so passionate that they go on and beyond what is asked. Like, for example, if the customer has asked for a submit button, they'll also give some other features on that link or other things, which
on a lighter note, customer did not even ask for, because they are in that mind zone and they're just working on it and just going and on. I'm like, you have to keep a check on yourself. Is it required? Is it asked? Is it even necessary to deliver? See, earlier I talk about freebies or free cookies, like just for that trust or support factor. That was what customer wanted. That's why we were doing it. But when I talk about simplicity, that simply means stick to what is required. Do not wander here and there and try to work on that only because you want to work on it, right? Many a times this happens. This used to happen with me many a times when I was a kid, when I tried to help my eye or my mother in cooking, and I used to like use my own brain and do something extra, which might not be her requirement. She's like, why are you doing that? I was like, no, I was cutting this. I thought I'll cut this also. Like, no, you're not supposed to cut this vegetable because you're not supposed to going to cook this now. We don't want this now. So it's a very practical example. Same way for the customers, you're not supposed to give them additional which they have not asked for it. It's like while you're eating something, you're at a dinner with some friend's place, and someone just comes and gives you some dish that you do not want. You're done with it, and you're like, why are you giving me? You're supposed to ask, right? So we always work on this consent and ask and response basis. So simplicity simply means do what you have asked to do. Do not deliver over which is not asked by the customers. Are we good? It's actually that simple, but
Yes.
I wanted to highlight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Savan.
Yes.
Thank you all. Yeah. I guess Sonali, Suchana, everybody's also okay with it. You were on mute. Okay. Cool. Fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So the next point is self-organizing teams encourage great architecture, requirements, and design. Yeah. So do you know when I say self-organizing teams, what is self-organizing team? Basically, it has the meaning in its word, but I still want to know. What do you understand by this words, self-organizing team?
Basically, there's like not like you, the team is basically not like you do this job, someone else does that job. It's basically like I'll work on this while you work on that, and we'll communicate if we have any issues, basically.
That's quite nicely put, no, Savan, thank you so much. Yes. Anybody else wants to add?
Sharing responsibilities.
Yes, sharing responsibilities, yes. But what do I mean by self-organizing? Savan was very close to, rather he actually has answered well.
I mean,
Yeah.
Each and every member in the team know their responsibilities and do their work by their own selves.
Perfect, Pratibha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So this is what is meant by this, that we have a team who is great to work on their own, who do not require or need a constant supervision. Okay. So even if we do not have anybody observing or monitoring them, they are good because they're self-organizing and highly motivated. And then when this will happen, when you have people who are skilled, who are motivated, who are experienced, who are very good in their decision making. See, it's like can you expect a 1-year-old to take care of themselves when they're alone at home? Can you? Yes or no?
No.
A 1-year-old?
No.
Absolutely no, right? Okay. Can you expect a 12-year-old to behave and take care of themselves at home when you're not there?
Yes.
Yes.
You're supposed to, right? Yes, because yes, the experience has changed, their age has changed, their understanding has changed, they've learned so many things. They know how to at least make tea or make a sandwich. They know how to lock a door. They know not to welcome anybody who is unknown, or they know how to take care of the house and on basic level. So on similar grounds, when you have a team which is skilled, which is experienced, which is good in decision making, which has already worked in such scenarios, they know where you're going and what is the intention of this agile project or methodology, and that's why they manage things on their own. And when you work with such people whose internal communication is so good, they have this ownership. Like, I don't remember who said that. I think Savan, I think that, there's nothing you do that and you do that. It's like, I will complete this, and, then I can communicate, or I can take this functionality from you. So it's very cordial, and it's very, I would say, understanding man. So it's like tomorrow, if all of you are put into a project, so you know each other from this training session, you know everybody, you know what are their strengths and weaknesses. So you're supposed to, and you would rather have this kind of relationship as a team. So you would know. So there did not be anybody else to tell, okay, Pratibha, you work on that, or Suchna, you work on that. No, and how well Suchna is, how well Savan is, or how well Krunal is, so you know what their positive, or their strengths are, and what Aparmita will do well. So that is how they work on their own. And because we give them the liberty and the freedom and the choice, and we trust on them, the ultimate result is greater architecture, superb delivery, timely delivery, and achieving your targets, achieving your delivery deadline. Right? So are we good? Are we
Yes.
good on this point, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So last but not the least, regular reflections on how to become more effective. So yes, this is like, how we have in organizations quarterly review, and half yearly review, annually review, or even I'm not sure about all of you, but even when we were studying for any particular board exams, you used to have a check on you, like how we have this prelims or semester patterns. So you should know where you stand. Okay, they often say before cutting the trees, you ensure that you sharpen your edge. So how often are you sharpening your edge? How often are you reviewing yourself? How often are you working on yourself? That, okay, I need to learn this skill, I need to increase my this productivity, I need to work on. So when you do this, when you do regular reflection, okay, how I could have done that better, how I could have handled the situation well. So these regular reflections basically help in self improvement, ensuring that your skills are improving, and your whatever technique, or processes, or whatever functionalities that you're working on. So overall, as a person, as a team member, everything is improved. And this only happens when you reflect on it. Okay? When you sit and when you do your self review, you self analyze. So you don't need someone else to tell you how good or bad you are. Honestly, I'm such a person. Though you can listen to what people say, but listen as in only listen, but you always end up implementing what you feel is right at heart, obviously considering the inputs, but then you know what you're best at. Someone else can't give you that. So definitely self review, self analysis is high importance, because that ultimately helps you to become better and achieve things in a better manner. Okay. So anybody has any doubts in these four principles, please feel free to ask, or I can just request Gaurav to add something here. Yeah, Gaurav?
Yeah, so what I'll do, I don't think I need to add anything. Very well explained, Prerna, by you. What I'm going to do is that I'm quickly going to wrap it up, because just a time check, because we are
Yes, yes,
closing
yes.
towards the end.
Definitely.
However, before wrapping up, I want to share two things. Okay, few tools we use in agility, and what all the certification you can look for and going forward. What all the availability is there, and then we will wrap it up. So where we see that, so these are few name of the certification. You can take a screenshot of it, and you can look for these certification. You can do by your own. Only the thing is that you will get the basic understanding through this learning. However, from reputed institutions, you can start doing your certification. It could be Scrum Alliances, or it could be PMI, Project Management Institute. And today also there are various other institute who are checking and letting you do some free certifications, which are renowned, like SFC and all, that is Scrum Fundamental Certification and all. Couple of you have done it as well, so you too can do that. So if you have taken the screenshot, and then comes few tools we use. So I want you to take the screenshot of this as well. So in agility, like you see the PowerPoint, using that we give the presentation. Likewise, whatever we are talking about the principle and values, we for project management we use them. And what we do, these tools like PowerPoint presentation give the liberty to design and all. We can also accommodate these various designs, various requirement gathering inside these tools. So today the budding tool is also known as Atlassian product. Its name is Jira. Asana is one, Trello, Zoho, Sprint. So there are many. You can take one any tool and you can continue to practice. Okay, so you just sign up for free, considering any name that you pick by your own will. Okay, create a free account and just explore what does it do, and get the understanding of it, get the hang of it. That's only I want you to do. Apart from the unsaid assignments are whatever you are learning today that you need to summarize. But before summarizing, you need to draw on a piece of paper. Okay, and while summarizing, you can showcase that in the summary. Hey, this is what we had learned yesterday, and I'm going to summarize it. Okay, are you clear with this on the action plan, what you are going to do next?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone is clear on this?
Yes.
Yes. Can I please see the other slide again?
Come again, Sawan.
Can I see the other slide again with the certificate, like basically the...
Yeah, definitely. I'll just, so this is one. It is, you can take the screenshot of it. You wanted to see that, right?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I got it. Thank you.
So yeah, so and one tool you can pick up, which you can explore by your own, that you don't need to learn. Just go and check what is it. Okay, and yeah, so the assignment, generally I recommend that pick any, but you can also pick Scrum. So that's what in the very first part of the batch we had asked to do, and then show up on the next Sunday. But before that, remember to attend RRP sessions now. RRP session, which gives you power to start optimizing your resume and other stuff. Okay, so this is what it is. All right, so any doubts so far?
No.
No, all good.
Okay, so thank you
No,
so
thank
much,
you.
everyone. So what I am going to do, I'm going to stop screen share, and yeah, apart from Aparna, rest can go. But before you leave, I'm going to once again reshare the screen and want to listen from you. What do you want to talk about today's training? Because I was talking to someone last, I would invite someone to speak up. Someone, what do you feel like saying? Someone, are you still there? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I feel like I have learned a lot today, basically, like with the what to expect, what I'm expected of if I want to become an Agile, Scrum, basically like a business analyst. I understand like what the requirements are, what I have to do, basically like that.
Thank you, Sawan, for sharing. Can you call out someone's name on the screen you see?
Krunal.
Krunal, what do you feel like saying?
It's too much of information today. The principles and the manifesting. Yeah, I'm just gapsing it, just recollecting and making my own notes. Yeah, I learned a lot today. It's a good process of understanding what agile is from the day one.
Awesome, Krunal. Krunal, call out someone's name on the screen you see.
Sonali.
Sonali, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was really interesting session today. We have learned the difference in agility and flexibility, and then the value and principle of agile. So we're gonna make a summarize of these notes, and it really explained by you and Prerna very well. So yeah, it learned a lot.
Thank you, Sonali. Call out someone's name on the screen you see.
Aparna.
Aparna, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about Agile Manifesto and principles today and how they can be used in business analysis.
Super. Aparna, call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Aparmita.
Aparmita, what do you feel like saying?
Today's session was like the 3 I's: interactive, informative, and very interesting.
Wow. Very nice. Aparmita, call out someone's name on the screen.
Pratibha.
Pratibha, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav and Prerna, for this session. Yeah, as I'm new to this field, I'm trying to grasp the things, but yeah, it's very informative.
Super, Pratibha. So few new terms what you have might have listened, that is going to get covered. Say for example,
Yes,
Scrum
I'm
and
trying.
Sprint. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yes,
trying.
Pratibha, call out someone's name on the screen.
Yeah, I think everyone, Suchna.
Yes, Sushna. Yes, what do you feel like saying while you are repeating?
Pratibha. Yeah, it was very interesting session today. Just my internet was on and off, so that's why some disturbances was there. Otherwise, it was good.
Never mind, no problem. Thank you so much, Sushna, and thank you everyone for showing up. Really appreciate that, and continue to do your assignment because you remember code of honor, what it all says about. Okay, and when you do the assignment, remember to also play with the tool. Thank you so much. I wish you all great relaxing
Gaurav,
hours.
I remained. You missed me today.
Sorry, I was in total
No
different.
worries, no worries.
Yes,
So I was
Prerna.
just listening to everybody's feedback. So yes, I will not call it information overload. I'll call it, gaining a lot of new, I would say, overview. So yes, people having internet issue, please rewatch this video because this is our own finding. Also, when we rewatch the sessions or we go through the recordings, you tend to learn so much more that you missed earlier. Okay, because while in the session you're talking, you're reading, you're doing something other, some brain activities happening. So yeah, do rewatch, and these are very important topics, though may they sound very simple and so, but from understanding, it's very important. And my very best to you, and thank you so much for your interaction. It was really, really nice. I could see you buckled up and into the zone. So thank you so much from my side again. Over to you, Gaurav. Good.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much, Prerna, for picking it up, and I'm really excuse me
No,
for
it's
not.
okay. It's okay. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, thank you so much, everyone, for showing up and continue to complete your assignments. And if you'll do that, you'll see the result as well unfolding. So bye-bye, good night, and talk to you soon on Sunday. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye,
Good
everyone.
night.
Night.
Aparna can stay back.